what else hasn't been done before? We've never seen
Yeah.
one of our favourites on Chasing Birdies, who is a multiple winner
Yes.
on the ladies' tours right around the world. Her name used to be Stacey Keaton. These days it's Stacey Peters, and she is now the female national pathway manager at Golf Australia. She joins us on Chasing Birdies. G'day, Stacey.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh, we're very excited about
Good,
the hole in
Stace.
one, Stace.
Yeah, I can tell. I'm feeling the excitement.
It's fair. How many holes in one have you had, Stace?
Well, none at X Golf.
None of that, yes. What about in real golf?
7 in real time.
Oh, my
well
God.
done. What about you? How many have you had?
Yeah, I think 7 as well.
7 as well?
Yeah.
You've done very well.
What about you?
I've had 11.
What?
11, yeah.
You
Of
played
course
too.
he has. Of course
I
he
played
has.
too much
I
golf.
have had 11. Hey, that doesn't matter. Don't worry about that. Now, Stace, I tell you what, you were a very, very, very good player. Multiple winner, like I've been saying, a Victorian Open winner. And this is a very important role, the female national pathway manager. When did you start chasing this position up?
It's probably been, I was in the last couple of months, I guess, or when the role came out and I started thinking about it, I guess. But I've probably been thinking, down this road for the last probably 18 months or so, when I sort of haven't been playing as many tournaments due to our schedule in Europe, and which has allowed me to, do a couple of other things. And, I've really, I've really quite enjoyed it, to be honest. And, when this opportunity came up, I inquired and then went through the process and obviously was lucky enough to get the gig. So it's something I'm really looking forward to.
So, Stacey, will you manage a playing career at all anymore, or is this the end of the playing days? How will you sort of manage that?
No, I'm definitely going to play the rest of the season on the European Tour. And then I'm going to play the Aussie Summer, depending on what the job sort of allows, and I'm hoping to incorporate it as well, whether it's to be taking girls along with me. Obviously, maybe, it's not going to be as much of a priority as the role. But, I definitely want to keep my hand in there, and, I absolutely, I'm not going to lie, like, I would miss that side of it a lot. But, it's just, I think it's the right time for me right now, I love playing golf. I still do, and so I'm hoping to do some of it down the track.
And I think you're perfect for it. But I've been out at the junior tournament scene for a few years now, Stacey, since I finished playing. It's quite a few years now. And at some tournaments, Stacey, there are very few young girls competing, maybe as low as 3, 2, 3, 4 at some of the lesser known tournaments. And so we really do need a focus on this, don't we, desperately? And I'd be interested to hear what your first plans are.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously that's a big thing, the participation level. But, at the other end of the scale, like the high performance side of things, we really want to be making sure that these girls are on the right track, on the right pathway to making things, a smooth transition for them, from the amateur ranks to the professional ranks. And, I guess we really need to understand what the woman, what their needs are. And obviously, hopefully I'll use some of my experiences, both good and bad, to be making this a smoother transition for them as well.
Stace, tell me this. When I was coming through, kids like Robert Ellerby, Stuart Appleby, ripped out of school, and they were there to play their golf. Richard Green was a little bit the same as well. Adam Scott, his dad was the manager at a golf club, and, he was just there every day after school. Pretty much everyone I knew as a professional golfer, they either lived next to a golf course, like I lived next to Huntingdale Golf Club, or their parents were just unbelievable. Now, in today's world, when we see the Koreans and how much they practice and how much their families put into it, I see this as being one of the issues, because we still want to get our kids to have an education. We want them to go to school. There's got to be a plan B involved. Do you think
I couldn't agree more with that. I think the education is a huge part of it, and life balance. It comes. I think with getting an education, working your practice around it. I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
I definitely will be encouraging that.
I want to put this to you. I know there was a high school up in Queensland that Stephen Bowditch went to, and
the Hills,
and Adam Scott. I'm not sure what it was called.
Coralban, and now the Hills. Yeah.
Do you think, Stace, at some stage, when you see a 14 or a 15-year-old girl who wants to have a real go.
Yeah.
Do you think down the track, 10 years from now, if you put your mind behind it, that we will have a facility in each state, a bit like Queensland, that help these really talented kids become incredibly talented, and that is with a high school education in the background as well?
Definitely. I mean, I think it's a great idea, and whether it's a long way down the track or not, it's something we can be aiming towards. But I definitely think education is it's a huge part of it.
So
I think overall it helps. Yeah.
So, Craig, I mean, I know when I was a kid coming through, golf was the only way out for me, and I was wagging school every day.
Yeah.
Every single day, and don't do that, kids, if you're listening. Don't wag school every day. It's a very, very big risk, a huge risk.
It is.
But you growing up in the country, I bet you were living right around the corner from the course. It was a different kind of prospect from city kids these days, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think that's why country kids do so well at sport in general, but especially golf, because you've got access to the course 7 days a week. Every day you can play in the comps with the members.
Yeah.
You don't have to, show up at 3:30 or 4. You can play every day.
It's so important, isn't it?
I used to I used to do sport at school, and I'd go up the golf course and play in the men's comp.
Yeah.
It is very important, and Stacey's the right one to work on this, I think.
Yeah, and now, Stace, tell me, getting kids into tournaments, that's the other big one. How much say will you have in maybe getting some, even if the fields are small, organising tournaments for 15 and 16-year-old girls?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how much say I'll have in that sort of thing. That's something we'll have to look into.
It's important though, isn't it?
What's that, sorry?
It's important to get the kids playing in tournaments early, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's only so much practice you can be doing without having the bigger competitions. Yeah.
And Stacey, last one from me. Other than participation, getting the girls into it, what other parts of the role do you see yourself playing, or what other aspects to your role will there be?
Yeah, well, I think, obviously using a lot of my experiences, like I said before, to be helping the girls, even like with their training, with their practices, monitoring that sort of thing, helping them if they're struggling, whether it's the motivation side of things, with direction, with their goals, sort of setting plans in place so that they're keeping on track with where they want to get to and where that we think is a great, pathway for them.
Hey, Stacey, we think you're going to be an amazing mentor for these kids. Congratulations on your career, and congratulations once again on your position at Golf Australia. I think it's an absolute sensational appointment. Well done.
Hey, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good on you. Stacey Peters there, multiple winner on the LPGA circuits around the world, and these days she's going to be the female national pathway manager. A great appointment.